Hello, and welcome back to Planet AP. If you're new here, it's absolutely freaking crazy out here, but you're gonna love it. And today, this video is about how to build a God-coded business. So I'll tell you who this video is for, who it's not for, okay? If you're someone who has a business and you feel like you've kind of, maybe you have sales sometimes, but then you dip and you're kind of in a cycle of burnout. Maybe you're doing really well, but you're like, why am I always feeling burnt out, right? Or you've always felt this inspiration that I should have a business, but I don't know what it is, and you're in a job you probably maybe don't like and that exhausts you, but you just don't feel like you're living a life that honors the purpose that you were here for, right? If any of those relate to you, this video is for you because I'm gonna be telling you guys exactly how to build a God-coded business. Now, if this name sounds familiar, it's because I also do have an 8-week program that starts in the beginning of August, but I do understand maybe not every one of you can invest in a container like that, right? Where we're doing 8 weeks and it's a whole thing, and I'll tell you guys about it at the end, but I want to honor the ones who still want to learn. How do I do it, Anna? How do I do it? How can I build a business with God as my CEO? What do you mean by that? So in this video, that's the intention, to share with you the one frequency that is everything you need in order to build, sustain, and just have a liberating business that fills your heart, feeds your soul, and of course provides for you in abundance. All right, so and let's watch that. Wouldn't it have been cool if I just went, let's watch that, and this edit turned this into a TV? I don't know, man. I'm not an editor. But I want to tell you guys something, right? When I tell you, bro, let me tell you why I'm doing this video today, right? So today was like day 7 of the Timeline Death Challenge, right? And it was all about forgiveness, and it was all about love, and it was so beautiful that when it ended a couple of hours ago, but I was just watching parts of the transmission and doing the meditation that I guided, and I was just like, this time I was at the receiver's end, and I finished it, and my heart was beaming with love, and I was like, how can I give to the world today, right? And this just felt like it, right? This just spoke to me. So here I am, whiteboard in front of me, marker in hand, actually duster in hand, but just to share with you stuff that I honestly I don't wish, but you know that if life were to happen another way, and if I were to start my business all over again, this is how I would have done it, right? So it is after 4 years and $50,000 of investing in freaking marketing strategies that just did not do it for me, right? The amount of time I spent on BS stuff. Oh my God, am I recording? Okay. That didn't work. It's crazy. Like, it is crazy. And I feel like one of my biggest missions is that I don't want nobody in the world to go through that. There's so much misinformation out there. There's so much 3D focused money making stuff. There's so much advice that teaches you ways to live and ways to show up in business that completely kill your freaking soul, right? So if you're watching this and you're someone who has felt low-key repelled by it all, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if that does it for me, you're in the right place, okay? Because this information, I believe everyone in the world should have access to. So I'll tell you how, step by step, I'm gonna tell you exactly the way that I've built God-Coded Business, my container, and how you can do that for yourself, okay? All right. So the first thing is, now, okay, parts 1 and 2 of what I'm about to tell you are absolutely necessary. Part 3 is up for, you can switch it up type shit, right? Okay. So the first part is part 1. Yeah, I'm gonna keep you in, what's that? In anticipation. Part 2 and part 3, right? And one of the other reasons I'm also sharing this is just because I feel like witnessing every single person in that room go from just so hurt and so angry and so overburdened by their pain, and then watching them liberate it and forgive it and just melt it into love was so powerful that a part of me made me realize that yes, I show up a lot, but that I want to do more for the world, that there shouldn't be people out there hurting this much. And it just like it just was such a mirror for me to remember how deep my purpose goes and how it's for everyone. Nobody gets left behind. And that's just, I will do my best to do justice to everything that I tell you here so that it's easy and applicable for you. And if you're someone who feels called to join us, of course, I'm gonna drop the link below, but either way, right? I also have limited seats because we're doing Bali at the end. Oh shit, I think I just spoilered part 3. So it's a limited container, but whatever, right? So part 1 is a nervous system reset. And I'll tell you why. Part 2 is 8-week live container. So I'll tell you exactly what I'll be doing in this so you can apply it. And part 3 is Bali, where we launch plus master the frequency. Part 3 is Bali, where we will launch and we will master the frequency that makes you a money magnet, okay? But I'll tell you what this frequency, and I'll tell you how to master it so you can do it, okay? I'll tell you, heck, I'll even tell you how to do Bali yourself, all right? Your own version of Bali in your hometown, in your bedroom, because let me tell you this, I did not like this. To me, to be able to create this is a privilege, right? But I did this stuff. Everything I'm teaching, I did this from my bedroom. I didn't travel nowhere, right? But I know exactly the type of feelings I tapped into. And so now from that place, I get to create an experience that is everything that I emotionally felt like I was going through, if that makes sense. Okay. And also, I just love hanging out, right? I'm like, guys, let's just hang, right? Okay, so let's talk about nervous system reset. Us, baby, let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about us. Okay, so this is you, right? You guys might be tweaking because I didn't make no stick figure. You're like, oh my God, who broke Anna Banana? Right? So over here, right? This is you. You think, oh, I'm just a silly old person, right? But you're not silly, but whatever, right? But inside you, there is that of an inner child, okay? There's that of a shadow wound. There are meanings you created. There are conditioning. There is so much gunk, okay? And all of this, by the way, BT doublers, pertains to, it falls under the category of energetic blocks, okay? So you're out here, you think, when I started a business, I thought it was just about the business, right? I was like, I just need to figure every logical thing out under the sun. I just need to buy X thousand strategies and buy this funnel thing and and I should be good to go. So your homegirl invested $50,000 in stuff that I didn't need. And wallahi, hand to God, I don't use none of that stuff, right? The way that was like, that was me writing a check for, this is a check, right? A check, okay? To pay to burnout department. Literally, self-abandonment department, literally, right? So when we come to business, we think if we just have the logical kinks figured out, we're gonna be fine, we're gonna be vibing. Okay, and I am light and love and all of that, but I'll tell you something, okay? You guys, I'm also a little petty, and I like it. So I'm gonna say this for those of you who comment under my videos, Anna, can you make your videos shorter? No. Like, first of all, baby girl, this is free content, right? Like, bro, I'm investing my time, my love, my effort in recording, in editing, in uploading, and you're saying, girl, don't do all that. Sis, watch it on 2x speed. Watch it in chunks. I am not here to be digestible, and I am not at all here to half-ass my service and my mission, okay? I don't care if you would prefer my videos are shorter. Take 3 business days to watch it. Nobody said you have to watch it all in one go. You can watch 10 minutes a day. That's like saying, hey, I know you wrote this great book, but like, it could have been like, can you just write in a page? I don't do that. I don't do that. I feel like every single person has their own way of expressing. And when I start teaching, when I start speaking, I'm just going in flow. So I don't timer my flow, right? I just go where God leads me to. So if I see another comment from y'all saying shorter, if you don't see any video from me again, don't blame me. Don't hate the player. I'm kidding. But seriously, guys, it's not that deep. Like, there's so many ways for you around it. You don't have to cry about it. Like, seriously. And I'll tell you another thing, right? Because when I was learning, I wished for content like this on YouTube. Wallahi, I swear to you. I used to wish there was just people actually went into the depth of stuff and they didn't just give me surface level BS, right? And that's why my content is everything that I wanted to see. And I know that it's not the preferred way of learning for every single person, and that's okay. But for people like me, it is. So, free will, baby. Right. So this nervous system reset, you've got all this stuff in your field, all these energetic blocks that you don't even know. You think that when you start a business, your output is defined by your input? Wrong, sir. It's incorrect. Because, how many more case studies do we need, right? How many more people are you gonna look at and be like, oh, hell no. Like, these people have been out inputting, right? But their output isn't clicking. Like, it's not clocking. They're not standing on the clock. What's not clocking, right? It's because of what is in your own field. Because you cannot, here's the thing, here's the mistake I made, and is the reason why I'm saving people $50,000 in 4 years, right? Is that maybe $49,000? Is this, right? That we think that when it comes to my life, right? Which means my emotions, maybe, my relationships, my XYZ, right? That is the realm of healing, of spirituality, right? Of all this meaning making stuff, right? We think that this is separate from what, homie? From business. And that, honey, is so cap. It is so cap. It is not separate. Because every problem, okay? Every problem is at the very core, a frequency issue. And here's what you're gonna notice. And this is so subtle that you don't even clock it. The clocking is not clocking, right? That you'll notice if you actually pay hella attention that there's this one old frequency, right? Which gives you an illusion of non-duality, of separation, right? That, there is a problem. So for example, this is the frequency, and it looks like when it comes down, when it materializes, when it goes from energy to form, it translates into multiplicity. So it looks like, okay, I'm gonna do something weird. This is the frequency, right? But like, if this is the frequency and these are the different, oh my God, it was so simple. I didn't need to do all that. These are all the things attached to it, right? So this could look like relationship problem, and this could look like problems in your business. This could look like money problems, and this could look like health issues or whatever, right? Everything actually stems from the same frequency itself. So the reason why part one, before you get into business, my friend, is nervous system reset, which means you gotta get the frequency in order, your house of frequency in order. Business is spiritual. Your business is not separate from life. Your ability to make money is not separate from the trauma you went through when you were a kid. And I'm not talking about people who went through abuse and like that all of that is relevant, right? But I'm talking about emotional unavailability by the caretakers who are supposed to show up for you. I get so many people in my work who go like, you lost me a childhood trauma, baby, because I had a happy childhood. That's all fine, but a childhood trauma is not something, it has nothing to do with what happened, because you are looking at it logically, right? But it could be something as simple as one moment, one word somebody said, and it broke your heart and put your nervous system in survival. And well, here you are, chasing worthiness, chasing attention, chasing validation, performing for love, for money, silencing your truth, your authenticity, scared to take risk. I mean, do I have to go on? So when we're coming to business, but we've got gunk in our field, you know what the business is going to do? Because that's what my business did to me. It revealed my shit to me, right? It revealed my shadows. It revealed it in form of business partners. It revealed it in form of the relationships that I kept getting in. It revealed it in form of the type of friends I had. It revealed to me that, baby girl, you are a people pleaser, right? There's so many different things, right? The point is, that when we bring our light of awareness to what has been unconsciously holding us back, right? The unconscious resentment we've been holding, unconscious shame, unconscious guilt, unconscious so much stuff, we allow it to be seen in the light of love, and we allow it to be integrated and released, and we come home to a blank canvas, right? And that's the purpose. So that's why part one of a God-Coded business is what? It's a nervous system reset. Because let me also tell you this. When I talk about a God-Coded business, right? If your nervous system does not know what safety is like, you can't trust God. And all God-Coded business is about trusting God to be your CEO, to be your salesperson, not person, but like sales head, your marketing manager, all of that. It's all about trust. It is all about surrender, which you can never taste unless you heal, baby girl, unless your nervous system comes to a point of safety. So for this purpose, when you get the God-Coded business, what do you get with it? You get what is currently going on, something I call the timeline death challenge, right? And we're on day 7 today, and just the way that love has moved all of us has been insane, right? Like every single day, I just I see it more and more how necessary and how powerful this experience is, because a person who can lead their own nervous system, their own heart, who can be in safety within themselves will know exactly how to lead in business, how to trust their intuition, how to show up in their business from love and from heart, not to follow some trends or go viral or have it not mean anything to you. Nothing wrong with it. It's just different types of people, different preferences, right? So for those of us who value soul-led work, we get to know that it's safe for us to be seen in the work that we do. And that was one of my biggest blocks. So baby girl, if I don't feel safe to be seen, how will you ever see me, right? And then what I come back over and over again to is the knowing in my heart that God, it is such a disservice that when you have a gift, it is such a disservice to keep it to yourself and to let that gift die within you. Because as I see those people heal, and I point there because that's where my Mac is and I sit, but when I see them, when I see light break their heart open, there's someone who's 63, there are people who've been through so much, and they choose love. They choose to look at their pain. I've seen them cry, shake. I just know the type of powerful leaders we're birthing here. We're remembering here. We're coming home to here, right? So I've kept the timeline death challenge for 14 days, right? And I do have a video. If you're like, okay, Anna, how do I do, like, if, you know, I can't buy it for whatever reason, you don't have the means or whatever, I do have a video on YouTube, a free video called how to do 7 years of therapy in 14 days. So I will put the link somewhere that you can check it out if you want to do it. But if you can, invest in yourself with this. Right now, for the next 7 days until it's over, it's going to be for $111, and after that it's going to be $555 indefinitely. You can buy the recordings, watch it at your own pace, but when I tell you that this is the best investment you can ever make in yourself, and I say that with my whole freaking heart, that it is such a small investment for a liberation that the legacy of which will follow you your whole life. And I do not ever say that lightly. So if you're able to, I would love for you to do that. But if you get God-Coded Business, which I'll explain to you, right? If you're able to invest in that experience, you'll get timeline death for free. So don't, whatever. The point is that your nervous system needs to be healed so that when you're making money, that your past bank of meanings, right? Your past bank of gunk does not infiltrate your ability to what? Receive. Because all problems, right? All problems are really just receiving problems. We don't feel safe to receive. Like we keep saying, God, I want more. But then the more comes in and you're just like, oh my God, that's a lot. Does this mean the blessings are going to stop, and then you go into fear, and then you go into anxiety, and then you spiral and you drop from your frequency, and voila, right? We don't want to be doing that. That's not it, baby. So then let's talk about the 8-week live container, okay? I think I'm going to erase everything, everywhere I down. Days like these lead to nights like this. Lead to love like ours. You're like the spark in my bonfire heart. People like Justin. Oh my God. I'm looking at the stars for a long time. Just trying to make you mine. Everyone wants a flame. They don't want to get burnt. Well, today is our turn. So first week of God-Coded Business, right, is called the illogical business, okay? This means that when you're building a business, the first week you want to spend doing is learning about, because now that your nervous system is reset, now that you're just living in love, in awe, in reverence, in forgiveness, you're just like, heck yeah, the first week is about learning, okay, well, what does it mean to have an illogical business? That means look at all the conditioned beliefs. You got to become mad aware of what are the beliefs you have in your field. What are the things that you think to be true about logic's role in your business, about strategy's role in your business. And here's where the most important part is, am I doing this as performance versus the biggest thing, right? The easiest way to grow your business, whether you've got a digital marketing thing going on, whether you're a coach, whether you want to share, whatever it is, right? You got to look at everything from the lens of, is this performance? Is it authenticity? Am I performing here? When I speak this thing, when I send out this email, am I doing this? And here's the thing, right? Because performance will come from a place of lack. Authenticity will always come from abundance. So this is the week, tis the week where we get to micro analyze, right? Are the decisions I have made in my business, or are the questions about my business in my head, are they coming from a place of logic, or are they coming from a place of inspiration? And performance will often look like, obviously, performance is what? It's logic. Authenticity will be inspiration. That's not to say that you can't have structures in your business or any of that BS, and no, but it is to say that things that come from inspiration can also come like manifest as a structural thing to do. For example, build a program, sell that program, right? But every action I take to sell that program, is it coming from a place of like, oh my God, I need this money? Or is it coming from a place of, man, I am so blessed and I love the overflow I'm in. So I love that I get to share this, period. My mission is greater than anything else, right? And not just speaking that, but believing that, being that, radiating that, because that can only be radiated in frequency and energy and essence. So imagine running a business that fills your heart up. Do you guys know how much I love doing this? Do you know how much I love those calls that I have? Those calls for Timeline Debt Challenge were meant to be, I was like, it's gonna be 19 minutes long. Every call is over 2 hours. Today we went for 3 hours. And like, you don't even feel it. Why? Because there's so much love. And you're floored. By the end, you're just like, oh my God. It's like your heart has an orgasm in the most beautiful way possible. Because when we are walking the expression of life that we are gifted with, when we are contributing, when we are serving, we expand. And it doesn't mean that your business has to be like this life-size legacy type stuff, right? You don't have to have the same mission as mine, but maybe for you it's art that lights you up, that every time you paint something, you're geeking at how beautiful it was, but most importantly, how much you enjoy doing that. Maybe for you it's writing. Maybe for you it's acting. Maybe it's starting an agency and you just love that every time someone comes to you and they don't know, they're scared and they trust you with their brand, and you go ahead and you pour all the love you've got in that trust they gave you, and you build a legacy out of it. This is not about what you do, but it's about what the frick lights up your soul. Because when your soul is lit up, you assume, okay, here's the thing, you assume the best of everyone, and especially the best of God. You assume that God is here to he's on your team. He's here to see you win through it, right? So when you're mastering this part of having an illogical business, you got to accept that your business decisions cannot make sense to nobody, right? Sometimes you'll have an inspiration with no context whatsoever, other than just go ahead and launch it, period. And that's what it was like for me, right? With Bali, with the God-Coded Business, when the inspiration came, have a retreat in Bali, I was like, hey, what now, sir? But it was like, just do it. You don't have to see. Faith is not built at the altar of the seen. It is built at the altar of all that you cannot see until it is made to be visible. And that's why the nervous system reset is so powerful, because we not only plunge out the old frequency from childhood and teenage years and past traumas and all of that, just from not enoughness and worthiness, but also from God. From God. We heal. And this girl, she posted something so beautiful. She was like, I missed 2 days, but I found God, and I've just been melting in love. And I was like, girl, you made a grown woman cry. I was crying when I read that, because imagine, our work is not meant to imprison us. It is meant to liberate the creative gifts we came here with. When you see an artist who is absolutely in love with their work, you see the way their eyes light up. You ask them a question about some painting and they're like, oh my God, let me tell you something. That's a person with a mission to just paint the world, right? And now all of us have one. All of us have one. But it is found when we silence the whispers of logic and, you should do this. And I understand that sometimes circumstances can look very demanding, which is why, again, nervous system reset. Why? Purge out the old frequency. Purge out the voice that says it's not possible, because it's not possible for a human to dramatically change life like that, to dramatically change circumstances like that. But you know what? Who it's possible for? God. It's so easy for God to take you out of one situation and place you gently into another, dip you in the ocean of love, revive your heart, and just go all right, go serve. Sometimes we fear that if I stop working, what will happen? How will I make money? This and that. But it's like, babe, your job was just the means for God to sustain you, but it was not the provider. God is the provider. He always has been and he always will be. And that's why we get to learn to trust. Even when things like look like they just did a 180 and you're just like, wait, what? I did not sign up for this. You're like, all right, God's plan. You see every single thing in your life as like, oh my God, God did that for me. That's a sign, you know? But with all the love, with all the genuine knowing of it, right? So that's week one, okay? So week one, you're just gonna spend doing all this of looking inside the windows of your heart and going like, all right, what does inspiration look like? This business that I want to do, this gift that I want to share, does it light me up? Does it excite me? You don't have to have a business plan, but you gotta know if it beams you with joy. And you gotta know if at every step of the way, you can be fully okay with not knowing what you're doing tomorrow. Not in a way that like, oh my God, like what's gonna happen tomorrow? But in a way like, I don't know, this was today's stuff, right? Like like you're living for the moment as the moment, to honor the moment as it appears in front of you with love, and you give it your whole heart, your whole presence, your fullness, and you're just like, I'm just here. Like, let him cook, you know, just every moment you're like, let him cook, right? Okay, so then we go to the next part, right? Oh my God. I think, okay, my bad. I think I got too excited because week 2 is called free money. And your week 2 is all about love, baby. It's actually about going down, like, you know, making your way downtown, walking fast, faces passing them homebound. It's about recognizing, so we're doing passion, purpose, inspiration, and all good things. So this is where we take a week to really peel back layers from like, I should do this, to, oh my God, what if I could do this? I guess this is the logical business to have. Oh my God, if there were no limits, this is what I would do. So unpeeling the layers of, again, logic, conditioning that ever taught us to dream smaller and be duller and put down our light and not think that we can, you know, just have it all, because we can. Not because of our humanness, but because we're provided for by God. My drogos. And so excitement as your key. What do I mean by that? Excitement as your key over here will be like, you're gonna notice, you know, if for example, you're like, I don't know nothing, right? I don't know nothing, right? I want you to like look up different people in different careers, talk about their careers, right? And notice which one excites your soul, which one does, because here's the thing. Lock in with me, okay? Lock in. You have the answer within you. So these 8 weeks, you don't know what business or whatever you're here to express. It's not out there. It is underneath the layers of your heart. So in peeling back layers, you listen, you learn to listen to the heart, and your excitement will guide you. And why it's called free money is because when we are following the thing that we love doing and we're doing it just as a, you know, like an end of itself, where it is no longer about necessitating that thing to provide for us, because our provider is God. So you're just like, yeah, I'm here to share. So you put your entire 8-week container in a YouTube video because you're just like, bro, like what the hell, you know, why not? God's my provider. No limits exist for me. Nobody can stop what is written for me. Nobody can take what was meant for me. Why would I stress? And the people who are meant to be in that container, they will find me from the halfway across the world. I don't care. Why? Because God's the doer, babe, not me. I'm just chilling. There's nothing I would rather be doing right now than this right here. There's nothing I would rather be doing at 5:30 a.m. That's my time when I have my Timeline Death Challenge calls. It's 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it's like 5:30 a.m. So I wake up at 2 a.m. and I am geeking. I'm like, oh my God. There's nothing I'd rather be doing. That's why it's free money to me. Because I'm just living. I'm just doing something I love. And money is a byproduct of doing what you love. It will always come when your soul is expanded. Because anytime you do something that your soul feels misaligned with, what does it do? It contracts, it strangles, and it makes you feel horrible. That's why a lot of people don't like their jobs like that. So next week, week 3, you're gonna be dealing with the energetics of wealth. Okay, I'll tell you how to deal with this. Right? Tell you what you want, what you really want. Here's what you want. Here's what you want to do. This is you, okay, to your ego mind, okay, your survival mind. There is that of a ceiling, okay, and upper limit cap, okay. So it believes there's an amount of money that it feels safe to have. If I make this much money, that's all fine. I'm safe as long as I'm making this much money. What that means is that there is a cap, in other words, to your capacity to expand your business in numbers. Your nervous system literally blocks you from earning more money because it thinks that you're gonna die. So week 3, you wanna look at what is the most amount of money you've ever made, all right? What happened after that? Was there a point where like you were like doing really well financially and you were like killing, and then you made so much money, it clocked in and you were like, I need to clock out. You sabotage yourself. That's a wealth energetic block, ladies and gentlemen. So this week you're gonna be looking at, you're doing it yourself, then look at what is the most amount of money I've made. If right now, imagine someone comes to you and hands you $50,000. $100,000, right? They just hand it to you, right? Does that, and I want you to make it hella realistic when you're imagining this, right? So do you freak out, or do you go like, and I mean like if genuinely somebody came in and gave you that money and said this is for your business, would you glitch out? And I don't want you to be capped with me right now, okay? Like I want you to be honest with yourself, like, because everyone's gonna be like, I would love $100,000, but energetically they would freak the frick out, okay? And maybe the most amount of money you've ever made in a month is $10,000, right? I ask you, okay, imagine if you made $10,000 a day. Like today started and at night you notice that you made $10,000. How does that make you feel? Do you freak out? Does something inside you go like, is that feeling you want to catch? And you want to be like, you're going out. I'm not dealing with you tonight. So that's what you do here, right? You're gonna release these blocks, obviously. A way that you can do this by yourself, inside the experience, I'll be guiding you through different meditations, activations, but if you want to do this by yourself, here's a fun way. You can consistently visualize that scene happening right here, right now, over and over again until you stop resisting it. Is that easy? So that's on wealth energetics. Week number 4. This is where we call the gut punch. This is where I teach you how to tap into your intuition, how to lead from. So basically it's about recognizing the difference between the voice of fear and your intuition, right? So fear, here's the test, all right? Your intuition, okay? Your intuition will never spiral. Your intuition will be like a firm knowing. It's gonna be soft and gentle and quiet. It will not demand for you to overthink anything. Your intuition will say, do this. Fear will say, oh my God, I should do this. Fear necessitates and inspires an overthinking spiral. Your intuition says, that's what's up, take it or leave it. And when you don't take it, you pay the price, right? You pay the price. So it is all about using the mind to work for you, my friend. For you. I'd walk 1,000 miles just to see you smile. Using the mind to work for you, because the mind is what? It is a terrible leader, but it is an excellent servant. So when you are locked in the end, okay, and here's one thing I'm gonna be doing with everybody in that container is we will be basically live manifesting 24/7. So every call, you're gonna have something called quantum pods where you will manifest together. Okay, I'll say that much. That's basically talking to each other from your wish fulfilled, because when a group of people do it together, what does that do? It increases the vibration. And so you're gonna have your quantum pods who you're gonna be doing this stuff with, right? So you use that identity, you use that end that you have, and you make your mind work for you to serve you. Because when you're locked in energetically on your end, do you know your wish fulfilled? Do you know that what you feel, what lights you up is the feeling of joy, of inspiration, of service, of purpose, of abundance, of freedom? You just melt in that place, and then you go like, God, show me. So God will inspire you to take steps. And then that's where you use your mind to work for you, because we're not negating the mind, we're utilizing it. We're not being led by it, we are leading it. That's the big difference, okay? That's the biggest difference in your business. Logic is not the enemy, my friend. Logic is not the enemy. You use logic. We are not abandoning systems, we are utilizing them in a way that expands us, not contracts us. When logic controls you, when it makes you fear, when it makes you overthink, when it makes you spiral, when it stresses you out, you don't want it. We don't want her. But when you're utilizing it from a place of wholeness and knowing and just, like that, then you're good. You got the AP thumbs up, okay? And the next week is very important for you, okay? Because the week after this is what I call, another thing I want to point out, right? Everything. One other thing I want to point out is one of the things that I'm, not overtly sharing here is because I cannot possibly teach all that in this thing, is that I'm gonna be doing, because I'm a writer, I don't know if you know this, but I've ghostwritten over 80 books. I have 2 books of my own. One is published inside my community, right? And I love writing, right? So one of the things that I've been teaching you guys is how to copyright from your soul. So that's something that I don't think that I can put into a YouTube video, is not possible, my friend. Not because I don't want to, but because it's just like, there's so much back and forth with it, and it just, I don't want to do a disservice to it, because I love writing so much, right? And I feel like the thing that I love most, one of the aspects of my work that I love most, is the copywriting, which means writing the landing pages and the emails that I send you. And it's all like, how do you allow your truth to flow through you? How do you take your energy and turn it into words and Instagram stories and YouTube videos and everything and everywhere? How do you use your voice, your raw truth, to sell? So that's something that I will be heavy teaching you, because no matter what the business is, you gotta know how to write copy that is not friggin', what do you call it? No void. You gotta know how to write copy that is devoid of human spirit, and not just any human spirit, your spirit. It's your gift. It's gotta have your voice. Your business is an expression of you. So what do you mean? What you mean? And then how do we write Instagram bios and different little things about social media that I feel like I believe are hecka powerful. So that's something that I don't think I can clock in here, but so what? You got so much else over here. So you got this, you're good. If you can't invest in it, don't worry about it. But if you can, this will be the best business container you have ever been in your life. And it is so undercharged. It's crazy. I would have paid $8,000 for something like this. And people do. I have paid $3,000 for a pre-recorded, in total maybe 6-hour-long course that gave me freaking scripts to copy paste and shit. I was like, bro, that's cap, bro, that's crazy. So and this is, I believe at this point, because I'm pouring so much of my energy and my love into this, and there's just some beautiful things that I'm building for the next year, inshallah. So because this God-Coded Business is probably my last container of the year. I don't know, God might surprise us, we don't know. But it is the last time that any of my portals and my programs will be at a low investment like this, to honor the effort that I pour into it, because I do hella free stuff, right? So then the work that I'm doing now with my one-on-one clients and in my containers, it's just premium work, right? And I know that it is life-changing work. So because I put my soul and my heart into it, like I'm gonna be traveling with you guys, spending days with you guys, like what the hell, 8 weeks with you guys. We're gonna be in the community together. There's just so much you're getting, and it's to me, if I was on the other end, like I was asking myself, I was like, AP, would you? I was like, bro, that's practically free. You know, whatever, right? But point is that week 5 is, but if you can't invest in it, that's okay, bro. Because this is how you making your money. So week 5 is going to be action rehab. You can even, if you don't want to do it weekly, you can do it in days, because weeks, the reason I have weeks is because I've got them doing stuff throughout the weeks, right? So like you can do it in days if you're taking yourself through the process. Action rehab will be a whole day of you, a whole week of them, but for you it could be a whole day, whatever, not doing any action. Okay, so it's about literally dethroning productivity. A lot of people get their sense of worth from what? Being productive. They think that if I just plan it out enough and I just do this and I do that and I do this, then things are gonna work out. But babe, like, I'm gonna be so for real. You do not need to be productive for your business to be blessed. Like I've literally had an entire week where I didn't do nothing and I made thousands of dollars. Why? Because God is my provider. I know that I'm provided for. You do not earn. Okay, and earning money is a big part of this as well, because earn says that I gotta do to get it, right? We don't do earning money here. We do receiving money. There's a big ass difference between the two energies, right? Earn means I earned it. Receive means thank you, God, because God does not need you to do nothing to provide for you. But that does not mean we are not writing off like, okay, well, I'm just gonna sit here, do nothing. Like when I say I was doing nothing for a week, did that mean I've never done anything in my life? No, I had stuff that was already on my stand store. I had videos that had the grace to go around, be watched by people. But it's like, I don't have to constantly be on to earn money. That I show up when I feel inspired, I create, I love, I share, and that's pretty much it. And I don't do it to get something, because nothing in the 3D can give me anything, but God will always. So then I am not emotionally tied to my launches. When I launch something, I don't you don't measure your sense of worthiness through how well the launch goes. You feel so whole within and so worthy and just so aligned that you're just like, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Like God's got me, right? And you don't need it, but you get it anyways. And that comes from taking ourselves out of survival, right? So action rehab, dethroning productivity. It is about living in the end just in frequency, just like living in the end over and over and over and over again, all day, every day, knowing that it's done. It's all here in this present moment. Like if you watch all my YouTube videos and you like make the right notes and you take out the best parts and you do watch this again, then you're gonna know exactly how to do it all. Because I be telling you guys everything, bro. I don't gatekeep shit other than copywriting, but I'm not gatekeeping. It's just like, it's too much context to explain, right? Okay, and then numero 6, we do frequency upgrade. Whoa, frequency upgrade. So while week 5 was action rehab in terms of your frequency, your end of the business, of how it's doing and all that, week 6 is about your frequency when it comes to you as a business owner. They're interlinked, but you know, they're a little bit of different, right? Because action rehab will teach you how to take aligned action. An aligned action is basically every time you do anything as an end of itself. When you create to express, not to expect. Create to express, not to expect. Create to express, not to expect, right? You're just like, I'm just here to share, hey. And God gives you anyways, right? Frequency upgrade is your identity as a business owner. It is how you will then write down what your convictions are, you know? If you can't invest in Timeline Death or God-Coded, right? For $55, and I think I've put in an installment plan for this as well, you can get my workshop on living in your wish fulfilled, okay? I teach you guys everything you need to know about how to write out your convictions, how to live from your convictions, how to, you know, like basically my two-step process that I do every single day that allows me to literally manifest the impossible all the time. That's the one. That's what you're going to be doing in frequency upgrade day, right? So you're just going to be talking to God and marinating in the frequency, in your self-concept, shifting your self-concept, shifting the very essence of your being, right? And that's what's up over there. I'm trying not to have to erase anything. I'm too lazy. So week 7 is where you launch, okay? Launch and loaded. This is where you will learn the art of sensory deprivation. So everything, all these weeks, right, while you're doing this as the inner work, you're gonna notice, you're gonna be inspired, you're gonna know exactly what to do, you're gonna know how to post, where to set up. And obviously when I went in the copywriting part, that's where I logistically plugged in the building their brand, building their business type stuff. So you can, in all of this, see where that fits for you. Because by week 7, now you're preparing for your launch, right? You're preparing maybe your first product launch. Maybe it's just one thing launch. It could be anything. It could be even your social media, anything. You're just preparing to launch it. And this is where we do nervous system training. So this is where it gets fun, right? So in week 7, we're gonna launch one thing, right? I want people to make money. We are not waiting to Bali to make money, and they will be sensory depriving, meaning you launch it and you stay in the peakest of peak energies, your highest of high vibrations, with your best expectations and convictions, and you don't check your email all the time, and you don't check to see if it's sold, and you don't check the metrics, and you don't do nothing. You launch and you walk away and you go live your life. You launch and you go rest. You launch and you go rest, you go play, you go have fun, you live in creativity, khalas, you know, and then you only come back to it when you're looking at it from a point of neutrality. I don't care. I just want to just check in the news type shit, right? That's week 7. And then week 8 is probably my favorite because it's called Shits and Giggles. And this is what I was talking to you guys about in the beginning. That week 8 is about how we use joy as the frequency for being a magnet for wealth. Because it's all about the more you play in your life. You guys, business is not that deep. It is an expression of you. You create, you express, you share, you be honest, you show up vulnerably, you have authenticity, and then you go and live your life. Your business is not a place that feeds you dopamine, okay? Don't be coming to your business to fry your brain cells with dopamine or whatever. Bro, that's you come here to express. You come here to be love. You come here to share your gift with the world, but have a life outside of it, right? Go out with friends, meet your family, go for a walk, talk to God, live a life, live a little, right? Shits and giggles, color, paint, dance, I don't care. But you gotta have the whole thing going on apart from your business, right? Where your business is a part of your life, but it isn't what drives you. What wakes you up in the morning. What wakes you up in the morning should be your love for God, your love for life, your awe. That's what's up. And then after the 8 weeks, we're gonna have a month off, right? Where you guys will be building your biggest launch or whatever. And I'll obviously teach you guys exactly what to do and how and whatever, right? But then we meet in Bali in November, God willing, and we spend about 4 to 5 days together, where the first day we will all launch together. So we'll all be sitting in this massive retreat center, massive resort on the same floor, and we got our laptops out and we got our juices and our snacks, and we're all just living it up, right? And it's day one. First we meditate, we get in this beautiful frequency, we do breath work, and then everybody just brings up what they're here to launch, and they share, and we convict in each other's truths and our ends, because to show you in real time the power of frequency work, okay, of energy work, of God consciousness in business, of how God will move mountains for you when you learn to step the frick aside. So we oversee everything, you know, I'll help you guys with whatever you need. And then once we've all collectively launched, we close our devices and we don't check nothing for the next few days. And all we're going to be doing for the next few days is having the most fun. It's going swimming with dolphins if we need to, walk, you know, like having, like giving an elephant a bath if we want to. The itinerary is like, we're gonna go hiking, we're gonna go see the sunset, the sunrise. Like there's so much magic we will just be witnessing at the waterfalls and the beauty, and also in seclusion, and also in togetherness, in doing breath work and ice baths, and bringing our body to its peak, our nervous system to its peak, and just finding awe and beauty and wholeness in this present moment. Because I can bet my life that when you launch that way, when you live that way, you make so much more money than you could have ever expected, and you see in real time how easy it gets to be. You're just like, wow, all I was doing was chilling. Because when you were chilling, right, your nervous system was safe. And the frequency, the signal you sent to God was, God, I trust you to take care of that, because I've done it. I've done my part, and over to you. And I'm not checking constantly. I'm not scared that you don't have my back. I'm just here to live. So if you want to do this at home, you launch and basically just go have the most fun for the next few days. Literally, just plan your joy. Go to the park, go for swimming, go to the beach. Do something that makes you feel happy, makes you feel alive. And the reason I even created God-Coded Business was because, you know, we get to, like, yeah, you can do it at home, but if you're able, bro, imagine doing this with a community of people. Like oh my God, what I would do to be a person attending something like this, you know? Like, I swear, sometimes I rewatch my transmissions and I'm like, oh my God, girl, that went in my heart. What are you talking about? My birds are excited with me. But yeah, okay. So links are below for everything. But here's the process for you as well. I've got a free quantum leaping guide if you want to know what's a frequency, how do you shift it, everything regarding that. You can get there. You get meditations there. And if you want to be a part of my school community, Planet AP, you know, that's the most investment you can make. You get a lot of free stuff. You even get the Living in Your Wish Fulfilled activation workshop for free inside that. So, and you get these activations that are life-changing, all my rampages ever, that are like 10 rampages, 2 activations, and other than that, different activations. You get a lot of workshop. This is just so much, right? For free, because it's $55. So that's my lowest investment thing going on right now, and probably will be for a hot minute. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.